What is going on, guys? It's your boy ShadyMikeGaming, and welcome to, I guess we can call this a preview. We're going to be a review of some of the information that 2K has dropped this week ahead of the launch of NBA 2K22. We're going to be talking a little bit about how I'm feeling going into 2K22, if this is something that we should be looking at buying at launch. So I'm really excited to review some of this information with you guys. If you do like the content, guys, I ask that you do please hit the like button on the video and subscribe for more content. We are almost at 14,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for all of the support on the channel. Now, disclaimer, I am actually going to be getting the game at launch. I do have a YouTube channel dedicated to 2K, so I do think I'm in a little bit of a different position. I'm not just going to not get the game, but I definitely understand why some people may be hesitant, and I've definitely been one of the people that have spoken out and been a little bit against the way that 2K has kind of hidden this game, the lack of information surrounding the launch. I just think overall I just don't think it's a very respectful marketing scheme for this community. I think we deserve better. The lack of a demo, I'm not a fan of that. I think there should be a demo for sure. They could have gotten some type of playable build for this game, but nonetheless, all we can do as of right now is talk about what we know. And it's, some of it, as always, is going to be a little bit of speculation, but I want to talk a lot about what we know. Now, the big update, the big reveal was that we're getting the PA announcers of every single team in the game on both next and current gen. I call PS4, PC, and Xbox One current gen because that's what most people have. We're not going to call that last gen when people really struggle to get those next gen consoles. So we're going to keep calling that current gen for now. But that was very nice to hear that PA announcement is it's a very immersive part of the game. And the one thing I was saying on Twitter was that, in my opinion, that is a $60 feature. That's a feature that can definitely sell a game. That's a feature that is not just based towards online players. That's a feature that everyone can enjoy, whether you're playing online or offline. Now, a lot of people were actually, I found, confused about what the PA announcers are. This does not mean we're having unique broadcasts for each game. It's just the arena announcers. I know some people were saying this opens the door for them to bring in broadcast announcers from each team. I actually don't agree with that. I don't think that's going to really be possible, just because each team is partnered with a different network that's going to showcase those games, and you'd have to have a deal in place with all of those networks. That's not something I see happening. That's not something I see 2K pursuing, but I thought this was a great step in order to just get the PA announcers, from each team. Obviously, it's an NBA product. We would have access to that type of thing. So I wanted to just touch on that because that wasn't gameplay related, but that was one immersive feature. Being able to hear the iconic announcers, think of the Hawks announcer saying 4-3 and that high pitch voice. You think about the Sixers announcer, a 7-2 center from Kansas, Joel the Process Embiid, you know what I mean? All of those, they are what you get hyped for when you're at the game. So I'm very excited to have that feel in the game. So I'm really excited about that. Now we're going to get into the gameplay, and this was the gameplay update that 2K dropped. We're doing this raw, so this is as if I was live streaming. I'm not cutting or anything. We're going to just go step by step, and I'm going to give you guys my thoughts and opinions on exactly what to expect. I think I'll have timestamps too as we talk about each section of the game. So the first thing that I wanted to point out was they stated that their goal was faster paced gameplay with tighter and more responsive movement and more skill based offense. That all sounds okay. I don't really like the skill-based offense thing. I'm actually not a great fan of skill-based offense. I'm a big fan of ratings-based and tendency-based offense. You know what I mean? If I have a 90 overall 3-point shooter, I want to be hitting most of my threes with that 90 overall shooter. I know there's a balance that they have to do between the online play and the offline play, but I do sometimes get a little bit skeptical when they say, oh, we really want to make sure skill is a part of our game. And that's fine for Park, and I hope they can achieve that with Park. I know that's what a lot of Park guys want, but that's not necessarily what I'm looking for in terms of the improvement from 2K21 to 2K22. That wasn't what I felt the game was lacking. Oh, it just doesn't take enough skill. So that is something to keep an eye out. Now, as we go through this blog, I want to make a point here. They do a very poor job of differentiating between what features are coming to current gen and what features are going to be exclusive to next gen. And I hope that that's actually a good thing, because I hope that that means that next gen is going to be getting current gen is going to be getting a lot of the features that were missing last year. That's what it seems like. That's what they were implying. So that's what I'm hoping is the case. So we're going to keep an eye out and see exactly what we're looking for. So when it comes to defense, and that was really one of the most interesting parts, they said they want to give gamers the tools to compete on that side of the floor. And I 100% agree. There's a lot of players in the NBA who are still considered elite, very good, who don't shine on the offensive end of the floor, but they're elite on the other side of the basket, and that they kind of aren't as valuable in 2K. So I'm excited to hopefully they were able to get a nice balance to make elite defenders really cause havoc on elite scorers. So I'm excited. I hope they were able to achieve that. One of the next things that they said is they said that they completely rebuilt the shot contests and shot blocking systems, leading to snatch blocks and volleyball spikes. Now let me kind of break that in half. Let's talk about rebuilding shot contests and shot blocking. I kind of like that because I've never philosophically agreed with 2K and their shot contests. Remember what I always say in basketball, the presence of a defender does not equate to good defense, right? I don't care what happens. If you put a 6'2" defender in front of Kevin Durant from mid-range and he puts his hand up, KD is still hitting that mid-range 90% of the time. Not 90%, but you guys know, a very efficient, at a very efficient clip. So I want more than that. I hope that they incorporate size, skill, badges, all of that, because I think you should still be able to hit tough shots, but I do agree with the premise. Now, what scares me a little bit in that statement is there's new snatch blocks and volleyball spikes. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Doesn't that kind of sound like the contact alley-oops from last year? Like, they were really peddling that as a big-time feature. And I did the same thing last year as I'll do now. I said, we watch basketball a lot. How many snatch blocks and volleyball spike blocks do you see? How many contact alley-oops do you see? Maybe one a game? Maybe? You know what I mean? So that I hope that's not OD. Like, I really hope that they didn't put too much emphasis on that, because that's not something you see much in NBA basketball. But I like that, they added a little bit more there, but I just hope they didn't go overboard with that. Now, next, they move on to our on-ball defenders, and they said that floor defenders, rides and bumps feel better. It comes down to, and in my opinion, I put in my notes, I said, that's great. I like that they said the on-ball defense feels better, but it's just going to come down to the animations. It's going to come down to, I hope they didn't just add more suction. I hope they didn't just add more animations. I want speed to matter. I want quickness to matter. You know what I mean? And that's the type of thing, without a demo, we're not going to know till we have the game in our hands. So that is a touchy subject. We'll see. We hope that they are able to achieve the new great defense just without a real suction cup feel to it. Now, they also noted that steals received an upgrade, and, they went pretty in depth in how we're going to be able to get much more steals and on ball and pickpocket type stuff. And I don't want to be negative, but I just do want to note that I'm okay with that. But when I watch basketball, I don't see a lot of on ball steals. I see guys abusing the passing lanes. I see guys being very aggressive in the passing lanes, and I hope that they punish poor passing to get more steals, not just ripping dudes, bringing the ball up, because you just don't see that much in the league. So I'm a little bit hesitant on that. I would have liked to see a commitment to seeing guys play much more in the passing lane so that we can get more steals that way, but we will see as time goes. Now, we're going to move to the next section where they start talking about defensive AI. Now, they said that in general, overall, that due to the new defense, ball handlers are going to feel more pressure on the ball. And that's okay. I like that. I'm for that 110%. But let me take you back to NBA, what was it, 2K20 or was it 2K19? They launched the game this same exact way with great on-ball defense, and the community started complaining, and they nerfed that crap to oblivion. And as all of this pre-launch is all well and good, but my question to 2K, my question to those devs, I got a lot of respect. They said that this was really Dazar's baby. This was Dazar, really wanted to get this implemented in year 2. My question is, and I'm going to hold him to the fire on it. When 12-year-old Timmy, I said it on Twitter, when 12-year-old Timmy, 2 weeks into the launch of the game, is on Twitter complaining and tagging Mike Wang and the Czar, saying, hey, my 60 overall my player doesn't handle like AI. What are you going to do? Are you going to stand by these decisions to beef up the defense? That's when we're going to find out how serious 2K is about their product. I like the direction they took, but I just hope that they have the cojones to stand by these decisions to make defense matter. So we will see. That will be one of those to be determined things. I don't want to see a patch that a weekend says, oh, due to community feedback, we just felt like the ball handling pressure was just too much and guys couldn't get up the court. I don't want to see it. So we'll leave that, and we'll leave that exactly where it is. Now, they said they also have brand new hedge, defender logic. Now, I hope that's a brand new pick and roll logic altogether, because what they had in this game last year was nothing short of embarrassing. I wanted to point out too, they said defense was also a focus on the new gen AI front. I hope that doesn't mean that current gen doesn't get these changes. I'm concerned because they don't differentiate. So I don't know if that means where everyone gets it or just next gen gets it. They didn't specify. But yeah, the defense of the pick and rolls last year was, I don't have anything else to say. It was that bad. It was just undefensible, not NBA basketball. I hope that they redid that entire logic. It almost made the game unplayable without my sliders. So moving on. Again, and I just touched on that. They have supposed AI improvements. I just hope that these make it to all platforms. Now they talk about dribbling, and signature size ups are back. They are expandable. Is that the word? Yeah, you can kind of chain out of the signature size ups. I think signature size ups are great for 2K. I think they're realistic. I think they add flavor. I think they add to the personality of the game. I hope we can get the CPU doing some of these signature size ups. All these dribble moves are awesome, but if the CPU's not doing them, it doesn't really add to the immersion for me. So I hope that we can really. I'm very happy to see 2K kind of double and triple down on the signature size up front, because I believe they had the signature size ups in 2K19. I think they took them out in 2K20 and then brought them back in 2K21. Is that what happened? Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I love the signature size up. It really makes me feel good about the game and the dribbling. That's one thing that I'm very excited about. They did say that everything in terms of movement, dribble moves, and combos are identical between current and next gen. That is insane, and that is interesting to me because it definitely adds some credence to the thought process and the train of thought that a lot of people had last year, that the only reason we didn't get a lot of the next gen features was so that they could make the next gen version seem like it was worth it because they launched both. That's very interesting. I'm happy to see current gen get a lot of these upgrades, but it's just an interesting approach. So I'm just happy to see the PC, PS4, Xbox One get some love. I know there was some people throwing around rumors that we wouldn't be getting a lot of love and it would be carbon copy, and we were getting a new dev team and a third-party dev team. As you can see, it does look like 2K is committed to hopefully making this a real game that we are happy to play, and making real tangible improvements that's worth the money. So that excites me. The post game, there's not much, but they did say they have all new post movement, new fakes, new hop shots, fades, hooks, pull the chair mechanic. There's a lot of new great combinations and fakes once you've mastered the controls. As someone that plays as the Sixers, I love to see that. I'm very excited for what they've come up with, and I hope that that's something that makes guys feel good about playing down in the post. Moving on to the shooting, they said that there's been a lot of changes to shooting. They have a new shot meter now that I do like. I don't know, the 2K21 shot meter, I've played a lot of different games. That's one of the worst shot meters I've ever seen. I could barely see it. This one is much larger. I like to look at it. He also said it's dynamic, so the shape and size is going to change as you're taking tougher shots. But that also scares me a little bit because I know from a logic standpoint, I don't particularly fundamentally agree with 2K in terms of what their definition of a tough shot is, because in my opinion, every mid-range shot in the NBA is a tough shot, and my hope is that they bring the mid-range game back alive. My hope is just that they give us the tools for properly rated players to be able to hit those tough shots. That's all I got on the shooting. Now, last but not least, it's not last, sorry. We move on next to the finishing. Now, this was strange because I was having difficulty reading through this and understanding what was going on. They made a statement saying that, like, the new gen is here. They say on top of that, on new gen, we've added timing meters to alley-oops and aggressive skill dunks. So that might not be something we get on 2K or on current gen. Don't really care about that. That's okay. They really go into detail and say how the dunks, once you triggered an animation, there was basically no way to stop it. And I agree with that. That was a problem. But I thought 2K21 had a lot of problems with finishing not related to dunks. I thought it was very hard and inconsistent to finish with players that didn't have certain badges, and the players who did have certain badges were impossible to stop in the paint. So I'm not particularly happy with the way that, I hope that they just maybe didn't mention it, but I'm hoping that they made much more improvements to the finishing than just the dunks, because I did not think the dunks were the major problem with 2K21. Again, that's me saying that as a PC player, current gen, not on the next gen. Now, we're going to go over to the badges. I'm not going to talk about builds. Don't care about that. Not going to talk about takeover. Do not care about that even a little bit. But for the badges, and this is where I put in my notes, I said this is usually where 2K screws up the game, if we're being honest. I personally would like if they could split a lot of the nonsense with the badges, and kind of keep some of that stuff online, and so that we don't have to deal with that online. But that's not the world we're living in. So we're going to take a look through. They have some new badges here. A couple of them kind of caught my eye, to say the least. For example, one of them is Mouse in the House, the ability for bigs to finish over shorter players more efficiently. And in my head, I'm like, if you got 6 inches on a dude, shouldn't you automatically finish a little bit better over him? Like, does size and height not matter? You shouldn't need a badge for that. That's a little bit concerning. I noticed that they split like the deep shot badge. So like they have Chef, ability to knock down Steph like off dribble deep threes. Okay, that's cool. And then they have limitless spot up, ability to hit logo range threes off catch and shoot. That's weird because what about like most logo threes are just you dribbling up and shooting them? Would that be Steph or would that be a spot up? So that's a little bit, I don't know that I've ever seen someone do a catch and shoot logo jump shot. So I can't possibly imagine why that badge would be useful. I said a while ago, I think they need to just move back the 3-point range in general. I think the normal 3-point range should probably be the bronze limitless range from 2K21, and then the badges Hall of Fame should pull you to half court. That's just my take, but don't listen to me. So yeah, there's a lot of badges that I just hope that we can balance these in gameplay because there's just so much here. It's very difficult to combat some of these badges. They've got 80 badges now. It's very hard to balance some of these badges with gameplay and sliders. So I'm going to leave it there for my take on 2K right now. Again, it sucks because there's no way for us to know what this game is going to be like. If you guys want to wait and hang out with me, I'll be streaming it at midnight whenever it launches. So we'll be able to get an early look at the game. If you guys want to wait for my feedback, you guys know me. I don't ever recommend pre-ordering these games these days. Madden 2K, none of it. The Call of Duties, none of it. I don't recommend pre-ordering any of this crap these days. I will be covering the game. I will do a full review. I'll do first impressions. I'll do it from a PC sim gamer standpoint, console gamer standpoint, from a modder standpoint. So we're going to be talking about what's possible with this game. So just sit tight, guys. I wanted to just remark on all of the content that we had thrown at us. It is a lot. I know this is a long video. Thank you so much for rocking with me, guys. This is your boy, ShadyMikeGaming. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this. I am signing out. Peace. Threes.